And some of you also know that I spent 24 years, almost half of my life, in Southeast Asia. First, I lived in Indonesia, Jakarta, and also 6 months in Bali. And then I lived in Singapore. And then the last 2-3 years, I was in Singapore. I was traveling a lot between Singapore and Rome, and then Barcelona, because I was looking for a place to relocate here when eventually, you know, I decided to let go of that experience and to come back to my own roots. Rome was a very difficult place to live, I must say, though there I have a very good friend, like a sister for me, Patrizia, and eventually I decided that Rome is good for holiday, and eventually I came here in Barcelona, very much attracted also by the element of multiculturalism that I found here, which is very important, because tonight we are going to talk about the relational dimension. As you know, I'm a life coach specialized in wellness inside out, relationships, and self-confidence and confidence inside out. So my methodology is coaching in 4 dimensions. That means I coach people and I guide people, because I'm not only a coach, I'm also a counselor. I guide people to look to the physical dimension, the body, the intellectual dimension, the thinking process, and the emotional dimension, the emotional process. And then with these 3 dimensions, I guide people to look into their relationships. They may be the relationship they have in couple, the relationship with the children, the relationship with the parents, relatives in family, the relationship also at work with the boss and with the colleagues. So after I went through 3 other videos that which considered the physical dimension, intellectual, emotional, tonight we are here to talk about relationships, and we will start again from next week to talk about the physical dimension, intellectual, emotional. Okay, so that we know that we go in cycle. And then, so we will have an idea of, also, you will have more than me, an idea of the way that I work, which is a very holistic approach to what is coaching and counseling. Okay, so what do I want to say about relationships? Well, relationships first start with ourselves. So I am in relationship first with myself, and then I go out with this 1, 2, 3 part, and I communicate with others. So tonight we talk about relationships and communication, and we already said in past videos that communication in relationship happens through body language a lot. That is not much what we say, but is very much the way that we move, the way that we smile, the way that we don't smile, the way that we shut down or we open up. But tonight I would like to really talk about in what way we engage when we really communicate verbally. And there are 3 levels when we are in an equal relationship. I say equal because I know in the past video we talked about the disequal relationship, which means the relationship that is not equal and is between a parent and a child. But when I talk between me and you, for example, you as adults, I'm talking about an equal relationship. When I talk about the relationship with my friend, I'm talking about an equal relationship. And also with our grown-up children, though they are children, at that point they are adults, and then we are considering them also as equal, because they are no more children that we look from up down, and they are no more those little human beings that we normally say, oh, they don't really understand much. I don't agree with that, because I believe that children understand very much more than what we believe. So be careful when you talk around, and around you there are children. So when we enter a relationship, it doesn't matter if I'm black, white, Asian, South American, Italian, Australian, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I'm poor, rich, it doesn't matter if I have a master's degree or a PhD or simply a diploma, it doesn't matter my bank account, it doesn't matter all that I have as my luggage. What it matters is that I enter in a relationship with another human being that's got one, two, three: physical, intellectual, emotional. And then that person, of course, has a different conditioning, a different grown up, a different way of having grown up, and of course it communicates in a different way from me. But inside of us, we all again have three levels, and this is for everyone. It doesn't matter again the culture, the color, the bank account. We have an adult, so the part of us that is in balance, that is in the center, that is present, that is talking from the center, the essence, or at least it should. And then we have the level of the inner child or adolescent, and then we have the level of the inner critic, that is this adult, it's like the voice of our parents, an old ancient voice that is still introjected and very strong in us, that is very judgmental, like our parents might have been with us. So be careful if you're a parent, if you are judgmental with your children, because that voice will remain with them all their life. So Freud was talking about the superego, was talking about the id for the child, and the ego is the adult side, The ego is a personality that we build up to go out in the world, and beyond the ego there is the essence, or at least what I believe is a real part that should take over, in our communication, in our relationships. I talk about this in my next book coming in November, and so I'm very excited to talk about this topic, because it's all that I would like eventually to start taking around in my work as a speaker, as a trainer from 2021. So no more only coaching one-on-one here in my safe cocoon in Barcelona. Well, when we enter a relationship, so we said we move the body, but we say things. And things that we say, and also things that we express through the body language, can trigger us something. And so we might find ourselves in communication with someone who is replying to us as a child or an adolescent. And while we are in the center, we are, in our, adult. Or we might engage with someone who is in an adult part, and we become very much critical, judgmental of ourselves and them while they're talking. When we start having the voice that says, oh, she's like that, oh, he's like that, oh, look at her, or look at you, what you say, and what are you going to say next? Or that voice that is not really childlike or adult, or like the voice of an adolescent, but more adult. So that is it could be the imprint of what we receive as messages from our parents. And the best in communication, of course, communication work when we work at the same level. So if I want to play and have fun and be light, then I have to, stimulate my child to come out and communicate with the other in a childish or childlike way. Better childlike than childish. If I want to be in my center and I'm talking about something serious, for example, a project or an intention that I have, it's very good to talk with the same level of your adult plus another adult in front of you, adult or adult, forgive me, is my Italian accent. And then we have another level if you want to be critical, because we can also be critical in a gifted way. There is not only an inner critic that is critical in a negative way. Recently, actually, somebody told me, Elisabetta, you have a very strong, gifted critic. And I was so thankful, because I always thought that my inner critic was very much judgmental, and it was, but it started to be not so much. And this is really another achievement that I'm very happy to have achieved. So we have a gifted critic as well, and when we talk from a space of a gifted critic is amazing, is when we can discern, we can evaluate, we're not simply judging and killing people with our judgment, or killing ourselves with our judgment. So remember that in relationship we have 3 different levels of communication, and it's very important that we understand the trigger that can trigger us to be in 1 or 2 or 3. level, but also what we might say or might do with our body language that can trigger in others to use 1 or 3 level of communication. The best is to understand, isn't a child, so I enter the child, or is an adult, I'll enter the adult, or I want to go into the child, so I'll try to lead him or lead her to take me in that, to come with me in that area. And if I want to be in a gifted inner critic, let's see how eventually I can stimulate the other person to enter that area, or the other person may stimulate us to do the same. I think I said everything that I wanted to say about relationships and relational dimension, which is one of the 4 coaching dimension that I like really to focus on when I coach people. This video will be also on YouTube, there will be also in Italian if you need in Italian, on Facebook, and some little part of it will be also on Instagram. But remember, YouTube now is gonna be nurtured by me. I started to learn how to set my videos on YouTube, and you can spread around your voice through your friends, people that you know, so that we can create a community. And this community name will be Get Into Your Groove, from the name of the first book, Talisman Gets Her Groove Back, a true story, and also from the name of the new book coming in November, Let's Get Into the Groove. So I'm very excited about this new project, and I'm very excited to be here with you and be more and more with you in contact also through YouTube. Please, if you have any questions, feel free to connect. And well, let's see what is next. Next session will be different, and I hope you will be all there to listen to what I would like to communicate next time. I don't know, I still don't know. As you know, I improvise most of the time my talks. So, a big kiss, a big hug from Barcelona. See you soon. Ciao.